Many thanks to you for sticking around and also to SWK for this opportunity. I'm Gabriella. I'm with CIMCloud by Website Pipeline. And for those who don't know, Website Pipeline offers B2B e-commerce and CRM solutions on a single platform integrated to Sage. We are based in Greenville, South Carolina, and we've got over 400 active users. So if CIM or CIMCloud doesn't sound familiar to you, that is because it's a new platform created by the minds at Website Pipeline. It stands for Customer Interaction Management. We've been in business since 1999, so we've heard from a great deal of customers along the way about a gap in their B2B businesses, and it wasn't being addressed, so that's how CIMCloud came about. And I aim to just quickly share a little bit about what that is and why you should care about it. So the goal of customer interaction management software is simple. It is to optimize customer interactions. So why would you want to do that? To increase your yield per full-time employee. So simply put, you want to increase your revenue by getting, keeping, growing customers, and you want to make sure your profit margins are increasing as you're doing that too. And in order to do that, you have to interact better, faster, and cheaper, aka ensuring that that customer payroll is not increasing at the same rate your revenue is. So what are customer interactions? Well, your business, as you know, has a number of employees interacting with customers all day, every day. They are talking to them about things like product information, sharing information about office policies or return policies, but the majority of these interactions have to do with placing or tracking transactions about quotes. And then also, those interactions are going to fall into these three buckets. So that's the interactions your customers have with employees, the interactions they have with you online on your website, and then those transactions related to those orders, and that data is also usually stored in Sage. So if we want to go back to increasing your yield per payroll dollar spent, there are a few key things to keep in mind. Obviously, you want to avoid adding headcount and instead focus on tools. And this analogy here, if you can see it, it's just saying that one person with the right tool for the job can accomplish just as much, if not more, than a whole slew of folks working with nothing but their hands. And that makes sense to us, yet the way many businesses are run today, employees are still stuck in the middle because they don't have a tool to service their customers with. Employees are talking to customers on the phone, via email, about fax. Data is lost or scattered in the ERP, and then those conversations that employees do have with customers, they're also not being stored or tracked anywhere in a meaningful way. So with this tool, ideally, it would be capturing all of that information so that you have visibility to those interactions, the data that's interacting with data in Sage, transactions that your customers are making. Oh, and then also, many people we speak with do say, you know, our customers don't need this, we're very high touch, they wouldn't use a self-service tool, but the reality here is that we're all facing the same sorts of customers. We've talked about it today. There are customers who are demanding self-service tools. You know, we've got everything at the touch of our fingers already. There are customers who are willing to use a tool if you provide it. And then there are those who, you know, will flat out refuse, but still we don't want to focus on them because the majority of our customers do want that ease of access. They do want a self-service. So if you do want to increase your yield per payroll dollar spent, we've got some options. You could do nothing and see no results. You could try the most popular method, which my company calls divide and cluster instead of divide and conquer. And that's basically implementing all of these different tech platforms, so CRM, e-commerce, help desk. But then the issue there is that you're scattering data and the same types of functionality out between these different platforms, and you're spending a lot of time trying to keep that all consistent. You could also make the switch to an all-in-one ERP solution, but first we don't want to do that here at this conference. We don't want to talk about that. But the big issue is really you're basically sawing out the lifeline of your company, that's all the data in Sage, to put it somewhere else, and that is very disruptive and does not always end up well. So that's why we created CIM, or the Customer Interaction Management Software category. We saw this pain in the B2B market that wasn't being solved, so we combined our long-standing B2B e-commerce platform with a suite of help desk and CRM tools to solve this need. So there are two big reasons we like to talk about why CIM is better than that, or smarter than that divide and cluster strategy. The first is that if you're implementing these two different platforms, CRM for your employees to improve productivity, and then an e-commerce solution for your customers to self-service, you're actually doing more work. And that's because a typical off-the-shelf platform, it is lacking the data from your Sage, it doesn't have the B2B functionality you need, so you end up spending a lot of money on that deep integration to Sage and adding any other functionality that's missing. CIMCloud, on the other hand, it's that single solution that both customers and employees can use, and then it does have the integration and functionality you need out of the box. And then also, say you do have a CRM and e-commerce solution already, your productivity has likely improved, but still, every time your employees are servicing your customers, it's kind of like Groundhog Day. Nothing is being done to progress towards that goal of getting your customers to just help themselves. So instead, with a tool like CIMCloud, your customers and your employees, they're living in the same platform. So say your employee creates a quote, he can send it to your customer within the tool, the customer can interact with it in the tool, they can place that order there, make that payment, and then next time your customer needs to make an order, he knows he can do this all himself instead of calling someone on the phone. So you're going to arrive at that end goal, which was again to get your employees out of the middle, but still keep them in the know, let them have that visibility. And then also, you're going to optimize your customer interactions, which ultimately will increase your yield per full-time employee. So that had a lot of graphs and charts. If you want to talk about this, just come see me in the back. I would love to chat. We've also got contact info on here. Thank you.